What's up, everybody? Drive through on 5 here, making a video today on how it's like to drive a 2007 Corvette or a C6 Corvette. First thing to keep in mind when driving this car is it's very low. Entering and exiting driveways, you're very likely to scrape not necessarily the bumper, but plastic pieces under the bumper, very likely to scrape. Even sometimes on somewhat level surfaces, it'll scrape. When getting in and out of the Corvette, you really notice how low it is. It's a big difference compared to my Honda, this black Honda right here. It's a Accord Coupe. It's not a high car by any means, but it's very noticeable, the height difference between this and the Corvette. The Honda feels a little bit like a truck compared to the Corvette. Another thing about the Corvette that's very, how would I say, apparent or obvious is that the suspension is incredibly stiff. The C6 has leaf spring suspension, which means pretty much there's a metal bar suspending the wheels. It's very stiff. You'll notice every single little bump on the road with this car. The transmission is pretty rough. It's kind of clunky. When you want to shift gears, you really have to push heavy into the gears to make it shift correctly. It's very different from my Honda. My Honda is so smooth and so easy to shift, but this car, the Corvette, everything's heavy on it. The steering wheel, the brakes, the shifter, everything you do, you got to do it on purpose. Kind of like just manhandle the gears into place. When city driving, I like to put it in 4th gear. It's at low RPMs, real close to only 1,000 RPM, going 30-35 miles per hour. The car doesn't really have any, doesn't have a hard time at all driving like this. I do this to save gas money. When driving this car, you're very tempted to press the gas, especially with this exhaust. It's like you're always tempted to see what it sounds like and feel the power, but I try to drive economically because this 6.0 is not that great on premium gas. That's what it uses. You got to put premium in this. It's a great engine. This LS2 motor really has a lot of power, and from what I hear, it's very reliable. Tons and tons of power, especially at the higher RPMs, like 4,000 RPM. Tons of power. But some other things that the Corvette is not that great on is the noise inside the car. When you're driving, you hear all these creaks. Everything's creaking. The top creaks. The body of the car creaks. My Honda feels like a luxury car when it comes to like noise compared to the Corvette. But my Honda is not that great at all compared to some other cars, like my brother's Audi. That thing, you can't hear a thing when you're driving like 40 miles per hour. My Honda is like medium level, and then you have the Corvette here, which you hear everything. You run over a little pebble and you'll hear it either on the top or something in the body of the car. It'll creak and make a noise. One of my favorite things about my Corvette, besides the engine power and noise and all that, that's obvious, but my particular Corvette is the roof is transparent, and when you're sitting under a red light, you can pull up under it almost all the way, and you can see through the roof if the light's green or not. It's a pretty cool feature. One thing I had to get used to when driving this car is the long hood and the nose of the car, like the bumper area. It's very long, and when you're parking, you got to be cognizant of things ahead, like a little thing in a parking, like a little cement bar or something like that. It's very easy to hit those. Oftentimes, the nose of the car is more ahead than you think. I've had to learn that the hard way. I've bumped into a few things already because the hood is very long, especially compared to my Honda. In my Honda, it's obvious when where the nose is, but in this Corvette, you kind of have to guess a little bit because the hood is so long. I'm a taller guy. I'm 6'3", 225 pounds, and I gotta sit up pretty straight to have my legs clear the dash and the steering wheel. Sitting all the way upright helps me to feel comfortable in this car. In my Honda, I can sit, slouch, do whatever I want. Got all the room I need. But in this Corvette, it's not the case. I gotta sit upright and like really have good posture so that my legs don't rub the dash. I love Corvettes, and I'm probably gonna buy a C7 down the road sometime. But for now, I got this C6. It's got a sweet exhaust. I love the car, love the way it looks, love people's reactions when they see this. But in the future, I definitely plan on getting more Corvettes. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks.